You are watching a Target 2.1 retest film. Target 2.1 is understanding the definition of a function and determining when relations are functions, whether you're looking at a graph, a table, or a real-world situation. Remember, you are supposed to pick up a packet that goes along with the Target 2.1 before you start this movie. Go ahead and pause it now if you haven't picked that up. Also, you have to complete the entire packet in order to do any kind of retesting. So let's take a look at number 3 in the packet first. It says use sentences to explain each part of the graph in context to the story presented. Be specific with the numbers you use. So these answers can vary significantly depending on what kind of story you create. I will give you an example of one using this graph here, but what you will notice is that all the parts of the graph are related in the sentences. So this first part, this first leg right here is stuff that you need to talk about. You are 5 feet away from the refrigerator. Maybe you are cooking and you're at the stove for those first 3 minutes. It doesn't give you a time, so it could be minutes, it could be seconds, it could be hours, whatever you want. So for first 3 minutes, and then this part of the graph, you're walking away from the refrigerator because your distance is getting greater. So for the next 2 minutes, you are a foot away from the refrigerator. And then maybe you need something in the refrigerator. So in this last part, you walk towards the refrigerator and you get within 2 feet after 10 minutes. So a couple of other parts of the graph that you should mention, you are furthest away at 6 feet, and you are closest at 2 feet. And then you walk pretty fast towards the refrigerator in that green section. So write a story using sentences explaining each of those parts. Make sure that all of those parts are in there. As you look through the different graphs and the different problems, make sure that you locate each section of the graph and you talk about how fast you're walking or running or driving. Also mention how far you're away and very specific numbers because they are given to you on both sides. Okay, go ahead and listen to that one again if you need it. If not, let's go on to number 8, which says determine whether each set of ordered pairs represents a function. Explain your reasoning. So what you're looking for ordered pairs is whether the x variables repeat, but that's not everything. So remember, it's not about just the x variables repeating. It's whether you have x variables, 2 of them, with different y variables. So for example, this one, you have -8, -6, -2, and 0. So none of the x values repeat, so it's automatically a function. So yes, it's a function. And the reason is each input, or each x, is matched with just one output, or y. Okay, so if you see something, for example, if there's another point here added, 0, -1, 0 would be matched with 2 different numbers. So it would not be a function. And the reason you would give for not being a function is the input of 0 is matched with 2 different numbers. So not a function, the input of 0 is matched with 2 different numbers. Okay, so look through those few problems there and see which ones are not functions, see which ones are functions. And let's go on to the last part, which is looking at the graph and seeing. Now, graphs have to do with vertical line test. And it's the same idea as the last one we just had. And that idea is that x's, or inputs, can't be matched with more than one output. And when that happens, you get something that fails the vertical line test. So if you notice, the line, the black line, only matches here once, all the way, 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 all the way. So this one is a function. And it's a function for exactly the same reason. Each input is matched with exactly one output. Okay, an example of one that doesn't work would be one that might look like this. Now if you look, and I drag that line across it again, you see that it's good, it's good, it's good, it's good, it's good. It's not so good right here. It touches 3 times. And that's true, true, true here, here, and here too. And here it matches twice, and then it goes back to once. But as soon as you touch it more than once here at the vertical line, then you know it can't be a function. And you'd want to use specifics. You'd say not a function, and then the input is matched with more than one output. Okay, go ahead and listen to this as many times as it takes to finish the problems. Also check the back, so make sure that you're doing them right, so when you get to retest, you are acing it. If you need more help than just this movie, feel free and see your teacher before or after school.